Hi everyone! So today's video will just be an introduction into our website, JuniorIT.AI, and it will just be a little sneak peek into the programs we've created and what our courses have to offer. Today's video will mainly be focused on the playground section on our website. The link is JuniorIT.AI, which you can see here in the top left. If you just click on Playground, which is at the top of the website, it will bring you to this page right here. So here at JuniorIT.AI, we've looked at the new advancements in AI technology and have found a way to be able to use AI and the knowledge that it provides to help with those who are aspiring to become coders, or even to better those who are already developers. This is done through a program we created which integrates AI with your own code. This can allow AI to do things such as fixing code, explaining these errors, or even just explaining code in general, and even doing things like writing code or completing code just from basic prompts. So we've just put AI into these little coding editors, which allows you to be able to use AI to check as you code. And this supports a variety of different languages. So we have Dart, and then we have Flutter. This one takes a while to load. Yep, and then we have JavaScript, TypeScript, React, Python, PHP, Swift, Java, Kotlin. So there's a huge variety of languages that this software works with. So if we just go back up to the top, we can see Learn Coding Language with AI as an Assistant. So this first point basically just allows you to learn the basics of code using AI as an assistant, as it says. So it just helps, as we said before, fixing code, completing code, all that kind of stuff just with the basics. So now if we look at, can I have some Dart language function examples? We click Ask Now, and it comes up with 4 examples. So functions with no parameters and no return value, functions with parameters and no return value, functions with parameters and return value, and then arrow function, shorter syntax for single expression functions. So these are just the bare basics of the Dart language. And if we go back up, now as I said before, our software is compatible with a bunch of different languages. So if we change Dart to, let's say, Java, for example, we can see it will come up with 4 of the exact same thing with Dart, just in a different language. This can be really helpful for if people are learning more than one language, which if you have done that before, you'll know that languages are actually quite similar. So this can help with differentiating these, and just in general when learning new languages. So for simplicity's sake, today we will just be sticking with Dart, since that is the main language here at JuniorIT.AI. And now, so if we look at the first example, function with no parameters and no return value, it's just a very basic Dart function which prints hello. So if we go ahead and run this, it should just come out with hello. So now we can just look at some of the features that our program offers in conjunction with AI. So the first is to just let AI fix your mistakes for you. So if we just, for example, delete this semicolon over here and run this, we come up with an error. So of course, this is just a very basic error, just expected semicolon after this line. Now, of course, this is very easy to fix just by putting a semicolon back in, but with more complicated mistakes, it might be kind of hard to figure out what exactly you need to fix. And this is where we can come in with our AI technology. So if we just go ahead and highlight this error right here, you can see 2 icons pop up. So the left icon is to allow AI to fix your code straight away for you, and the right one is so that it can explain the error and then you can fix it yourself. So for now, we're going to click on the left one, and it brings us to Code Assistant. And here you can see we have the error that's been inputted under a to-do. So we'll learn more about this to-do later on, which basically just provides instructions for AI. Now, so we can see here, if we click Fix It, it will just fix the code for you, and then we click Save, and then we run it, we can see that the semicolon is back and it works now. So now if we look at example 2, we have a function with parameters and no return value. So if we just look up here, we have void greet. So greet is our function name. And then essentially we're just printing hello and then a name. Now, before the name, we have a $sign here. Now this $sign may seem a little out of place compared to the code we've seen before. So what we can do, we highlight it and we press the hand icon here, and then basically we can just ask AI and it will explain it for us. So here we can see that the AI provides a brief explanation as to what this code does. So it has identified that it's written in Dart, and it contains a simple message which has the value of the variable named name. So this $sign name syntax interpolates the value of the variable into the string, as it says. And then it just provides an example as seen with the one above. And if we just look down, it just briefly explains the code, which is really helpful for those who are just starting out to learn code. And you can do this again and again just to explain all of those bits that you don't quite understand. Alright, so now we can take a look at example 3, which is a function with parameters and return value. And we can just play around with this. So once again, we can ask AI to explain it for us. So if we highlight this first section and we tap on the hand icon on the bottom right, and then we ask AI, and you can see AI provides us with a full explanation of what the code does. And something else we can actually do here is we just delete a semicolon here and we run, and you can see we get an error. But this time, if we highlight the entire section and tap on the edit, we bring up our code assistant and fix it. And then here we can see that it's fixed it, added semicolon to complete the statement, and then we save. And now we run again and we can see the code is completely valid. So that's just another feature where you can highlight parts of your code or all of your code to fix errors instead of highlighting the error itself. And now we have something that's kind of like our second point, which is to let AI finish the code for you. So this is what I mentioned before about letting AI write code for you from prompts. And this is done through the comments. So these are defined with slashes and asterisks as seen here. And these asterisks wrap the comments. So what we have to do first is specify the language. So this here would be Dart for us. And then the rest of the code editor are basically just some guidelines which are wrapped in comments to tell AI what exactly we want it to write for us. So this first one here, we can look a function named sum that returns the sum of two numbers. And then, so that's the first part. Then our second part is the main function, which calls on the sum function. So if we just click complete for me here, we can see we get a block of code that adds two numbers together. And we can run this and the answer should be 15. Yep, there we go. Now we can just go ahead and reset this and we can change it up, but keeping it in kind of the same thing. So we're going to change this to product instead of sum. So yep, product, and then the product of two numbers. Alright, and now we complete for me again, and you can see it comes up with another valid code that we can run, and the answer is 50. So that brings us to our third feature, which is to let AI fix or edit your code for you. So this is different from that first one where we press the icon, where we do it manually instead of just pasting in the error automatically. So it is in the same to-do format, but it's just different in that you input the instructions manually yourself. So here we can see we have an error in our code. So there's meant to be a bracket after this hello world, but we'll just take that out and allow AI to fix that for us. So here you can see it fixes our error just like the code assistant does, but it's a little different in that you manually type the instructions. So this is very simple to use. You just type instructions after you write to do, and this is all commented. And then also, just like before, your first line has to comment the language you're writing in, just so AI knows what language it's meant to fix it in as well. So now this brings us to what is our last feature, accessible on our playground. So this is basically where you can take everything we've used here, so editing, fixing, completing code, and you can use it on your own code by just putting it into the code editor. Now this is available for any language, so if we look at Flutter here, we can just go ahead, we can highlight this part, and we can click on the hand icon and ask AI to explain just this one section of code. And you can see it provides a full explanation of all of the different features, which is really helpful for when you're learning a new language, or you could just use it to help, edit through some code and just help you with parts that you're not really sure about. And this is compatible with all of these languages that you can see on our website right here. So you can just paste in your code and have fun with it. So that's about everything that we have to offer on our playground here at JuniorIT.AI. It's just a place where you can kind of get the hang of using AI to help you learn coding and better yourself as a developer.